Oh my god, fireworks. Yeah, they're gonna go on for a few hours, but I can still come here and just make a video. I was gonna go live, but last time I did, every time I do, it gets all glitchy, and I do it anyway because I like it, but it's too glitchy, I think. So, of course, I want to talk about Ashley Morgan. I know she wants to be called Ashley Morgan Smithline. I don't know what the fuck is that last name, so I'm just gonna say Ashley Morgan, whatever. You guys know who she is. I actually stopped talking about her until then. She was in the View TV show. Shame on them. Shame on ABC. ABC has never been okay. The View has always been crappy. But the fact that they completely act like he was a criminal. Like Whoopi Goldberg and all those idiots are like, I'm so sorry this happened to you. Like they actually are just, whoa. I felt assaulted. I felt abused with this fireworks. It's interfering with my peace of mind in my video. See, like people can be so weak and can make a big deal out of anything if you think about it. Anyway, this is not even Ashley making a big deal out of something that Manson did to her. This is actually making shit up. Because straight up, she said that she was with him for 2 years. We have plenty of timelines that don't add up, even from people like Ashley Walters and Evan and Esme messing up with the timelines that Ashley Morgan is trying to give us. So even her friends are not getting with it and agreeing on the timelines, which is ridiculous because she was not with Manson for 2 years. The only person that was with Manson for a couple of years, for 3 years total, was Evan. And Esme was serious. She was in a bunch of pictures with him, going like she was the serious one after that. And that is it. Everybody else was there for a weekend or a month, or like 3 weekends, whatever. So that just the fact that she lied about how long she was with him is like the first, red sign. Because it's like if you lie about that, what else are you gonna lie about? Pretty much anything. So she did this whole thing on People's Magazines. Everybody knows that it looks like a photo shoot. Because seriously, she's like, oh, I'm not a victim, I'm strong now. And it's a photo shoot. Like, girl, like if you're gonna go do an interview, or a video, like, I'm just doing this right now because it's my own, because I feel like it, but I'm not trying to sell anything, And also there's a couple things from her Instagram that she said that she doesn't have nothing to gain. And the only reason she's doing this is so all the girls can be protected. And I'm gonna get that out and read it again. And not paraphrase it, but read it with her words. And it's funny. It's very funny. Because in her lawsuit, the first thing that says, civil lawsuit, not criminal. The first thing it says, well, not the first thing, after the name, so whatever, it says like damages or what the person is looking for, what the person wants from the lawsuit. Because some people would just say, well, I just want him to just say that he did it, and go to rehab or something, whatever. She's suing for damages, distress, human trafficking, unpaid labor, and she is suing him for money. So when she posted that first Instagram story naming him. Finally, I had the courage to say his name. She said on that Instagram and Twitter too, she's not doing this for the money. And then the lawsuit is about damages. It's not even about any type of vindication. It's not even about nothing but damages. And like I've been saying, if it was such a big deal, it would be a criminal, not a civil. So I'm gonna go back, and I know it's hard to listen to this thing. It's hard to listen to her lying, and which is not even lying in a way. She's not even articulated, like probably Evan is, and she's not even fun to watch like Esme is. Kind of funny. Ashley's is a whole different animal, I am not gonna criticize her face. I don't care how much Botox a person has. I think they criticizing her face. If you are doing that right now, you're not getting the point. And criticizing the fact that she might be high or not. Maybe she's over medicated. Maybe she drank a lot. I don't care. I'm not criticizing the way her state of mind, or if she had her makeup, or if she had Botox. People are talking about her Botox, and that's not the fucking point. The point is that she's lying, and that's what we should be talking about. Now, oh, who did her face? She has Botox on her cheeks or whatever. Or she looks tired. She looks high. I think that's just pretty. I don't think that's okay to do at all. I don't need to do that. I don't need to attack her like that in order to prove the point. And I hope that people stop doing that about her, with her, because if she has a drug problem, then we should not be just banking on that. At least I'm not going to. So I can make fun of the things that she said and how she said it, like, oh yeah, he's a serial killer, things like that. Or yeah, my mom stopped by for Thanksgiving, and then she says that she haven't seen her family in a whole year. Like, I can make fun of the stuff like that, but I'm not going to. Wow, happy 4th of July. That's pretty cool. The only reason I'm doing this now, because later I'm gonna go to a party, and I'm gonna watch the fireworks. But right now, it's daytime, so I don't know what these weirdos are doing fireworks if you cannot see them, but I'm gonna do that later. So yeah, I'm not gonna criticize the way she looks or the way she talks or how she was raised. I'm not gonna talk about her family. I'm not gonna talk about her job. I don't care. If she's a model, she could be working a farm, and I will think the same. I will have the same opinion of her, and I think that's kind of low. I'm not gonna say anything about her cheeks or her lips, whatever, but I am going to talk about, like, what we've all been saying, that all this just missed it, like the dates. It's like when they all sit around saying, well, we're gonna do this to him, and this whole big conspiracy, they all sit around in these meetings, as she calls it. I met with the other women, they give me strength. Okay, well, you all, when you sit there in the meetings and you write the stuff down that you all gonna copy and paste, why you didn't get the dates straight? Like, it's really hard to believe for me that between 2010 and 2012, Manson was with all these people. Like, and in the meantime, he was with his wife, and back in the day, just girlfriend, but not wife, and also with Esme, and also with Ashley, and also with Ashley Morgans, and also with Ashley Waters, which she was just the assistant, but all of a sudden now she was with him too. I don't know, man. I mean, I know the guy is, the guy's hot in Hollywood. He can get any chick he wants, but he's always been, like I said, a relationship dude. And it's really hard for me to believe that. It's easier for me to believe that these girls are lying. It's easier for me to believe when Ashley Morgan, Tom, ex-fiance, just comes and talks to us, and he says straight up that she was the freaky one. She was the one with the freaky fetish fantasies, and then she was with Manson maybe for not even 2 months. And then Manson's lawyer says that maybe it was a week, and then Ashley says it was 2 years. So, everybody seems to have an idea about her. Even before she talks, she opens her mouth. People that know her in her own life, ex-fiancés and friends, they know she's a pathological liar. So I don't know how she's going to prove. She's going to prove this to the court. With her fake pictures that she finds on Pinterest and on Google. Okay, she did. And talking about the knife, and every time I hear the knife, I'm like, okay. If you're going to talk about somebody cutting you with a knife, you better show that. Otherwise, don't mention it. Otherwise, you can talk about the personal, the economical abuse, the emotional abuse, the verbal abuse, but don't put things on physical if you're not willing to just give the receipt and to show the proof. Why would you do that? You just look like a weirdo, like a liar. It's like, well, I was cut all over the place, but I forgot to take pictures of it. But I took pictures of my neck and my bites, but I didn't take pictures of the cut that he did with the knife. Doesn't make sense. Like, if you are in so much denial and you're being abused and you're not taking pictures of anything because you think that guy is your savior and he's your abuser, you don't go around taking pictures of yourself. You're taking pictures of yourself when you are in that. You're not convinced that you're going to go to court or that you're going to call the cops, that you're in that line, which is the best line you can be, which is like 50-50. I'm going to leave this guy, I'm going to stay with him, or I'm going to go get help. These girls are not on that line. They're all in the liar line, okay? So when you are on denial and you think this is my brother, he will never hurt me, he loves me so much, you're not taking pictures of bruises or cuts. So this doesn't make sense with her testimony of saying that she was love bombed and she felt like she was in cloud nine and because she was so charming and he was so intelligent and it was perfect. And why would we be taking pictures of your say cuts? Why would you? If it's not psychologically, you were not there yet. It's the same lie that when Esma with Evan Richard Wood says to people, I thought I was gonna die. I was afraid for my life. Every day I felt like he was gonna kill me. I'm paraphrasing her, but you know what I'm talking about. And she said that on the testimony for the Phoenix Act 2 years ago. And then she went to other interviews with whatever, jiggy everybody in freaking media, gave her a microphone, and she loves every minute of it. And she goes and says things like, well, it took me 7 years to realize that I was being abused. It took me 7 years to realize this was wrong. It took you 7 years? Or you were in the moment thinking that you were going to die? Because she just gave a testimony saying that she thought in that moment that she was going to die. But then in another interview, many interviews, she keeps saying that it took her 7 years to understand the gravity of the situation. That's like the problem right there. If it took you 7 years, then in the moment you were unconscious. It wasn't a conscious thing, which is okay. You're with a guy, you're in love with a guy. You're not in a conscious. You're not really in. You're not being logical. You're not analyzing the situation. You're like all up there, lovey, cloud nine. Then I will believe you, Evan, if you said, oh, well, I was on that and now I see because it took me 7 years. But she's saying that she, in that moment, thought she was dying. So that's why it's either take you 7 years or you knew in that moment that you were dying. And this is the same with Ashley Morgan. She also says that it took her 7 years. It's always those 7 years, 7 years, 7 years. They all use that with the number, the same number. So like I'm saying, it's like he's such a playboy, such a winner in life that he was with all these women in that year from 2010 to 2011. And not in Chloe Black, that's another one, the Jane Doe, which is not, her name is Chloe Black. That's another one, the one that talks about how he made her watch this movie Groupie and made her so upset that she was puking from fear. And this girl also talks about 7 years. So it seems like that is the number that they're all using. Because, they don't want to be original. They're just like copy and paste everything because these idiots are going to buy it. The media's going to sell it and we're going to, they think that we're a bunch of freaking like zombies. So yeah, I'm just going to play the thing again of Miss Ashley Morgan Smith, whatever. I'm not going to, it's just annoying for me to even remember the name of these people. I remember their faces. I'm pretty good with faces. I'm not good with names. So her face to me is Ashley Morgan. Walters is Ashley Walters. I am not going to be Ashley Morgan Smith line, which is for some reason what she wants. I think because there's another Ashley Morgan out there that does something else. She's either a tennis player or a model. I don't know. So she wanted to be different. Well, maybe you can be different by your work and showing your body of work and not just by adding another name to your name. There's a lot of people with the same names and we don't have to be just adding names to it. So Ashley Morgan, the one that did the People's Magazine thing, and the one that said that she has OCD. They all say something, but she's the only one that says OCD. And I don't take these things lightly. I don't take diagnosis like that lightly. Like they're not like saying, well, I'm kind of nervous and I have nightmares all the time and I just have nightmares or I sleepwalk. No, saying that you have OCD and you have post-traumatic stress disorder or bipolar depression or anxiety, panic attacks, everybody throws the PA word, panic attacks. Oh my God, I was so stressed out with this guy, just got a panic attack. I gotta call my girlfriend because I got a panic attack. Listen, you don't know what a panic attack is. If you're thinking that during a panic attack you can actually smoke a cigarette, call your girlfriend, no, you won't be able to do any of that. You won't be able to go on Instagram and post something if you're having a panic attack. So that's like, I hate when they're using, these women are using real diagnosis and there's no proof. There's no doctor, doctor records, and also like not even that, but Esme Bianco, she's so dramatic, and she posted a picture on Instagram that it looks like the pictures that Amber Heard posted back in the day of Johnny drug paraphernalia. And Esme Bianco put a picture of like these little bottles, orange bottles with the regular pill bottles from the pharmacy. It looked like it was Walgreens or Rite Aid, one of the big pharmacies. And she blurred the name of everything. Yeah, of course, because she's not taking it. But anyway, and it says like, this is just the beginning of something I have to deal with for the rest of my life because I have this diagnosis. I mean, treatment, therapy, group therapy. No more grouping with the groupies. But I'm saying, what's a treatment? Like, who's talking about the treatment? Nobody's talking about that. Nobody's saying how many milligrams you take of this. What's the name of your medication? So that's just, some people might have more credit. Not me, but other people might be able to believe them more if they give more detail. If they say like, well, I was put on this and I gotta take this meds, and I like something to kind of like put glitter on the story. No, they just expect you to believe just the way they are. It's like, I can put a picture on Instagram and stage the crap out of it, and get in a lot of trouble for lying, saying that I have cancer and I don't. Something evil like that. Saying that you have mental illness when you don't have it, it's not the same as having cancer, but it's pretty messed up. Because it is messed up. Because for some people, a mental illness, there is a chronic thing that is gonna not stop until you die. It is a life sentence. Just like cancer, just like diabetes, just like lupus, any chronic disease. And it seems like American people, I hear, we don't understand that having diabetes because you can eat too much sugar or whatever, or having stuff like that, liver disease, and having mental health problems that they're debilitating, that you cannot go to work, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. So if you were having something that is so big like that is going to stay with you for the rest of your life, it might get better with medication, because with medication, what we can do is we can manage the symptoms, but we're not going to cure it. It's bullshit. You don't cure bipolar. You just don't. It's sad, but you don't. So you get better at the symptoms, and you might have flares up. You might go up and down. And flares up, like you have, that's what it's called. And it can go in remission. Your anxiety can be in remission for a year, and then you put in a situation that triggers it for whatever reason, and then you go again, and you have to deal with that for the rest of your life. It's not something that you can lie about, so you can put some dude in jail, some dude that didn't call you back or whatever the hell he did. Maybe he did something, but what I'm saying, I never deny the fact that he might have done something to piss them off. And I don't deny the fact that a lot of the things that they're saying that he was into, he probably was into. But I think that the distortion and the kind of like cherry picking whatever is convenient for them, and leaving out all the good things about him, and not taking any responsibility of the fetishes or the stuff that they were into. Manson never denied that he is a bit of is to explore or whatever. And he's always been real with us, with the fans, or with anybody in general. So he's not gonna deny it. He makes freaking songs about it, about tying people up or getting tied up or making blood packs and drinking people's blood. He makes videos about that. If he was such a serial killer and such a psycho, he won't be out. He won't be making videos about it. The way that he exercised that stuff is by making videos about it and songs, and he shows there's always some type of something, or knife, fake, but there's always something going on like that. That is the healthy way to do it. So somebody who is really, 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 really psycho, like these girls are women saying that he will not be broadcasting it to the world. I mean, like, maybe, but no, that's really hard for me to believe. And then there's a bunch of people that said, well, the reason he got away with it for so long is because the persona was so big that everybody was like, oh well, this is just a persona, he's not like that. And then he actually showing that he's been like that the whole time. Well, I think that's BS. I don't believe that's the way it is. And if it's the way it is, I will sit here and I wait for a doctor note, doctor paperwork saying that these women have what they have. A notice from the internet or from Facebook or from Gmail or from whatever, showing their emails, their famous emails that he sent to all of them, driving them crazy, supposedly begging them to be in his movie. I don't know why. The guy can go outside and can do this and might not get the best girl in the universe, but he's gonna get some cute women or guys or whatever. No, but he's calling some chick that works in Thailand, or like with Esme, some chick that lives in England. No, I just don't. That's another part that I don't believe. They want to make him look and sound very needy and very manipulative and very jealous. That's what they're saying. The whole like, he texts me nonstop. He emailed me nonstop. It's to give you and try to sell you the idea of that he's out of it. He's controlling. He texts me nonstop. He was sending me 100 emails a day. He's controlling. No, I don't think that's true though. He might have a bit of problem that he doesn't want to be alone. A lot of celebrities have that, and maybe he is a bit of he's a big high strung, and when he likes somebody, he's like on it, and he texts you over and over. I just don't think that's a crime. And if they're gonna base a lot of this case on getting cuts and crazy emails, crazy text messages, there is no proof. I have not seen no crazy emails, no cuts, and nothing besides Esme Bianco's back that it was whipped. That's the only thing I'm seeing. I have not seen black eyes. I have not seen marks. I've not seen letters. I mean, we know how the guy likes to write, how articulate he is. Don't you think that there will be letters that he will send to these people, insulting them or professing love to them or controlling them or saying, I'm going to kill you if you are with this guy, something. They either are like making a pile and saving it for court, and it's going to be like, whoa, bombshell, or they either don't have it. I think that they don't have it. I'm sorry, it's my opinion, is they don't have it. So we're just gonna listen to good old Ashley again. I know it's annoying, but I kind of want to put it together because she did this little piece of interview / photo shoot 2 months ago, but a few days ago she was at national television talking shit. So I'm gonna put two and two together, and I'm not talking about her face or her cheeks or her lips because that's not my problem. Okay, so I know it's gonna hurt, but this was like titled "Breaking Up from a Monster" or "I Survived a Monster," and I'm gonna pause it a couple times because I can't help myself, and I'm not gonna talk about the way she looks or anything. Just gonna go on to like the timelines and the stuff that she says about her mom and dropping Thanksgiving dishes, which is, okay, all right.
Manson is under investigation.
Several women have come forward in the past couple of weeks with similar allegations of abuse against the shock rocker. As far as other fallout goes, he has been dropped by his record label, CAA, his talent agency has also dropped him as well.
On February 19th.
They make it sound so dramatic with all those the way they cut these things. So it's like even if you don't have your mind made up, you are already kind of on, oh shoot, this guy's dangerous. And those cuts, you know what I mean? It's like that is like a typical thing they do on TV and in Hollywood and genital TV everywhere. And it's like they're just getting in your head with that. They have different reported saying like, well, Manson was like, and then another person going, Manson was, and there's different people saying the same thing. That's a trick. And then the cuts are like, it's like thunder sounding thing. This was in May. May 5th, and they were already talking about it like all this stuff just happened that she said. Do we believe them? Believe them at face value. Okay, go ahead.
2021, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department confirmed they were investigating allegations of domestic violence involving Brian Warner, better known as the musician Marilyn Manson. The news came just weeks after nearly a dozen women, including actress Evan Rachel Wood, shared allegations of abuse against Manson. According to the LA County...
Going on in 2009 and...
in 2011. Manson has denied the allegations, saying in a statement, quote, these recent...
I seem to lose the... I think I'm going to try with my tablet. It's going to work better. Okay.
We all related on...
Excuse my neighbors. I don't want to be a hateful person because it's the 4th of July and I'm just waiting until the nighttime. It's be like about 30 minutes and then I'm going to just come out and do the whole firework thing. But for now, logically, I don't want to do the fireworks if it's like still daytime. Anyway, we will have the whole night. Okay, Ashley. I survived a monster. I know I did this before, but I'm gonna put it together with the stuff that she just said a few days ago.
We all felt the same thing, guilt and shame. And being with these other girls, these feelings of guilt and shame have lessened. They're not going away, and I don't know that they will. And my feelings of dirtiness and wanting to wash that off has not gone away. And I really look forward to when it does.
I wonder who told her to say that. The way she said that is a very political. She talks like a politician. Like the feelings of dirtiness or grossness, whatever she say, they're not gone away yet. But I'm looking forward to the day that they will be away. Like it's a really weird thing to say. If you are really hurt and you're really trying to make a point, it's strange for you to think about the future. Do you know what I mean? To say I'm hoping that one day it goes away. It's really that got me like that's just strange. As if you're like thinking about yourself and about this guy getting caught, no pun intended, and going to prison or whatever. That's what you're thinking about. You're not thinking about the future. One day, what you feel will go away. See, this is a person who has a lot of issues, but they're not related to the time she was with Manson. She has issues before, we know, and she has issues now. So I think when in an unconscious level, a very unconscious level, when she's saying eventually this feelings will go away, she's talking about something else. It's unconscious. It's not, but it sounds like, this feelings of dirtiness or grossness, and I'm not judging her because of her job, but a lot of the things can come out from being a model or from being a certain type of model or from having a certain type of lifestyle, and it has something to do with Manson. If she feels dirty, if she feels guilty or embarrassed, sometimes we do stuff that we're not proud of, and but it's strange that she put herself in the future already. Like it's almost like this is just a step here to get here. That's the first time I catch it, and it's strange though.
Marilyn Manson is under investigation.
Several women have come forward in the past.
Here we go with the cuts.
Similar allegations of abuse against the shock rocker. As far as other fallout goes, he has been dropped by his record label. CAA, his talent agency, has also dropped him as well.
On February 19th, 2021, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department confirmed they were investigating allegations of domestic violence involving Brian Warner, better known as the musician Marilyn Manson. The news came just weeks after nearly a dozen women, including actress Evan Rachel Wood, shared allegations of abuse against Manson. According to the LA County Sheriff's Department, the incidents under investigation occurred between 2009 and 2011. Manson has denied the allegations, saying in a statement, quote, these recent claims about me
He was with Evan in 2009. I don't know if he was like full-blown cheating on her with all these girls.
He has not been charged with any crime. One of the women who came forward in early February was model Ashley Morgan Smithline. On February 1st, Ashley posted on Instagram accusing Manson of abuse, sexual violence, physical violence, and coercion. And now she's telling her full story for the first time.
I have bonded with the 5 other main girls who went through this, and we have found such a strength in numbers. And our stories are all identical. It's disgusting. At least if you're gonna be an abusive psychopath, be original. And he wasn't in any way.
In 2010, in Maryland,
talks like that. What if a victim says, well, at least if you're gonna be a psychopath and a rapist, at least be original, you know? Who talks like that? It's just strange. It's very weird. It's really hard to believe her because the way she talks, and this is not about her sounding drunk or high, because people can say about something about me, I'm so tired, I sound like I'm high, and I'm not. So it's not about that, but it's just she's using certain vocabulary that is very strange. Sometimes she sounds very smart, and sometimes it's like, what the fuck? You just said what? So it's weird because she said to other people that she's from Calabasas, which is in California, and is a very uptight town. That's where the Kim Kardashian lives and a bunch of people. So you don't live there and you don't go to school there if you don't have money. And if you go to school there, I'm sorry to say, I don't want to say that only people, good people, rich people get good education, but a lot of it, has to do with money. And she's mentioned it before to other people that she is either a doctor or was about to become one. So she has 3 or 4 years of college under her belt. And again, sometimes I can hear it, the way she says things about certain things. But sometimes I'm like, why are you being so hood? She's so hood. Right there where she said, it's oh, well, if you're going to be a psychopath, at least be original. That is something that, you can say that in a privacy conversation with your girlfriend, oh my God, this guy's such a psychopath, but he's not original at all. It's a weird thing to say, but it's more weird to say it on TV, or in a publication and broadcast it. That it makes you look stupid. And that's what they should notice, that she almost says the F word. She goes, our stories are disgusting. You are giving a something for People magazine. People magazine, okay? It's like the New Yorker, the LA Times, whatever. Why would you say our stories are disgusting? You didn't rehearse this. You rehearsed everything else, so why don't you rehearse not saying the F word over and over? And then, like I said, sometimes she sounds smart, and sometimes it's either she's out of the script, and then she's showing her true colors when she says, oh, not an original psychopath, a super, square psychopath. Oh my God, just be original if you're going to be an asshole. If you're a victim and you're scared of this guy, you're scared to death and all that, why would you do this and knowing that this is going to broadcast everywhere and he might read it or listen to it? Are you just scared? If it was me, I'd be scared of talking like that about him or her or anything. Saying, oh, I'll just be original. That is a very strange one to say right there. Very strange. Seriously. It puzzles me to this day. I'm like, what the hell? You just said that?
Manson was a 41-year-old heavy metal icon, as well known for his music
he
as
is
an
an
extreme,
icon.
often controversial persona, while Ashley was a 26-year-old model working in Thailand.
I grew up out here in LA, in Calabasas. My parents are both in the industry, so I started modeling pretty young. I always wanted to act. That was my intention and my goal, but modeling monetarily came first.
Ashley had frequently worked with LA-based artist and photographer Tyler Shields, who also happened to be a friend of Manson.
A friend of mine, a photographer, Tyler Shields, had, shown him photos, and so...
You don't know? You just don't know?
On the phone and said, who he was, and I wasn't into that type of music. I knew who he was, I knew his public persona, but it didn't, mean anything to me until he said, and I know you're really interested in acting, and I want you to be in a film, and I want you to be in a music video.
And then you were all interested in him. She's saying it right there. she's saying it with different words that we will say, but she's saying the same thing. She's like, well, I didn't know who he was, and I wasn't very interested on him unless he said, well, you'd be good for a movie. And I really wanted to be an actress, but monetarily, modeling was making me more money, but I wanted to be an actress. So I started paying attention to him when he talked about a movie. That is just like the gold digging right there. Even if you're not married to the person, that's what people do in LA. It's all about connections. It's not about really, like, you can be pretty or you can be ugly. It's about connections. It's really not that much about how you look. That's like a secret right there I'm giving you. But she talks about how she was being a model because, you know, it was working for her and in an economical sense. And she never acted, but she always wanted to be an actress. She said, I always want to be an actress. And then he offered me this movie. And then she's like, oh, yeah, I know who you are. That is so fake. She just said that she didn't know who he was. She knew the name, but she was not into that type of music. Listen, even if she was born, okay, so she's 20. She was born in the 80s, probably. By the time Manson was big in the middle of the 90s, she knew who this guy was. Maybe she didn't like him. Maybe she was out there listening to like techno music. Who knows? Probably. But just the fact that she said she only knew his persona, but then she trusts him so much to say, well, I'm just gonna move in with you, and you're gonna help me out, and we're gonna make this video together, and you trust me as an actress, and you put in your trust on me, and we're gonna, like, if you don't know who the person is, like, you know, you don't know, like what, that doesn't make sense to me. And the only time that she started, like, her ears were like that, like a bat, is when he said, I want to put you in a movie and or music videos, and she was like, yes, I want to be an actress. It's pure gold digging. Again, there's a different type of it, but same idea.
God, like, I can go do this. He mentioned, like, you know, knowing a lot of people in film, and I thought I could finally get out of modeling, so, and especially modeling overseas. So I was in Bangkok, and we talked for months. We would email, we would talk on Facebook, we would talk on the phone.
I would love to see all that talking.
So, like, we got to know each other pretty well. All we talked about was our favorite movies and our favorite books, and they were all the same. And we knew the same lines from the same movies, and he was so intelligent. And, like, physically I wasn't very taken at first, but he really lured me in with just this, like, endless intelligence.
The L word. There's 3 testimonies that girls say the same thing, lure me in.
Secure.
That November, after 2 or 3 months of communicating long distance, Ashley flew to Los Angeles and checked into a hotel on Hollywood
It
Boulevard.
was less than 3
reason
months.
I came out in the first place wasn't we were in love and we were friends, and he was casting me in something and I was gonna be able to act. But he flew me out, he put me up the Roosevelt, he brought his bottle of absinthe and had, like, cocaine with him. And he came with his assistant, which made him more comfortable.
That's
He came with
Ashley
a girl that was a
Walters,
couple
the
years older
assistant.
than me. And we all, you know, hung out and had some drinks, and then, you know, he's like, can I kiss you? And he was still being so romantic and so kind and normal. I went to his house the next day. It was odd. It was a hollowed out ballet studio. Billy Zane, the actor.
Oh, well, no, Jesus Christ, yeah. The house above the liquor store that used to belong to Billy Zane. Billy Zane was really good friends with Manson. Billy Zane gave Manson that little flat so Manson can have a chill spot that he could actually record and do art and also sleep there. Short story. No cages.
Weird furniture. There was, like, mounds, like big mounds of cocaine in every single room. It was just known that was how it was. And
Big mountains in every single room. There's only 2 rooms on that place because it's a loft. So I don't know what every single room she's talking about.
Odd. I knew he was odd. Like, he looks odd. I didn't think I was going to, you know, like, leave it to Beaverland. I knew that he definitely, like, was darker than I was, but he didn't express any of that to me. Like, again.
So how you knew?
I didn't listen
Oh my
to
God.
music, but slowly, these things were slow. Like, the first couple nights we hung out, I was allowed to sleep, and he slept. And then it was little things that, like, we were shooting, and all of the windows were blacked out, so he would lie to me about what time it was and tell me, oh, it's only midnight, and it was, maybe 6 in the morning, and it was late outside. And it's just a lot.
And she didn't have a phone? Because even if the guy's telling you, don't text anybody, I don't want you to be on the phone, you can look at your phone, you can see what time is it, right? He didn't have any type of record machine or like DVD player or music player. Those things have a digital clock in it. He didn't have any clocks. Like, it's really hard for me to believe that this whole, like, I didn't know what day it was and what time of the day it was. With so many like recording devices in there, like even a camera, not a phone camera, but a camera, a real camera, it will give you the time. You know what time it is if you really want to know what time it is. That's, at least I've been in situations like that, and I really wanted to find out, and I found out. Like, you find a way. The microwave has a clock, Ashley. Microwave.
I got more and more like, what I've read about getting someone into a cult is you deprive them of food, you deprive them of sleep, and you deprive them of talking to anyone. So, like, all those things were true. Like, if I would fall asleep at 1 in the morning, he would start playing really loud music and wake me up, and then I had to go do a line of cocaine to wake up.
Well, maybe he did
keep
walk
partying
her
with
up.
him and entertain him. And more than that, give him attention and reaffirm how great his music sounded, how wonderful he was, and he was, even when he was abusive, sometimes he would be joking and funny, and then sometimes he would be the most terrifying monster in the world. Like, he would say things like, do you know I could kill you right now?
According to Ashley, the verbal and psychological abuse soon turned physical.
The first time that he, I didn't know that you could rape someone that you were in a relationship with.
You were not in a relationship with.
There's a
But it's
difference
okay.
between waking up to someone having sex with you nicely in the morning and waking up tied up with someone having sex with your unconscious body.
Unconscious body.
Like,
You know who
tied up.
also said that?
And
Who also said unconscious body? Esme Bianco and Evan. The three of them said the same thing about the unconscious body. They could have said the same thing with different words. Like, oh man, I was passed out and he was having sex with me, even if I passed out. But the three women say unconscious body. And it's almost like, in a way, I mean, it's not so hard for me to believe that he has some type of freaky games that he likes to play. But also, if you look at her pictures, again, I'm not judging because I'm not judging what a person does for a living. I mean, even if she was a sex worker, I will still say the same. Even if she was a nurse, I will still say the same. But if you look at the pictures that she was doing overseas and how she was modeling, they're all topless. Some of them are completely naked. So it's all good, though. It's all good, Ashley. But for her to just say, like, well, I wanted to wake up to somebody making love to me, whatever, and I just didn't know, and I was so innocent. And it's really strange because if you're so innocent, if you are in the modeling industry or in the acting industry and all that, you're not innocent, period. That's why it's very hard for me to believe when Evan Richard Wood says that she didn't know what's going on. Evan has been in the stew of Hollywood. That Hollywood is a cult, not Manson. Hollywood is a cult. Like Rose McGowan said, Hollywood is a cult. And Evan has been exposed to that since she was like 12 years old. And then she doesn't know what drugs are. She doesn't know how cocaine looks like. There's no way that anybody in this town that has been working in music industry or movie industry or any type of broadcasting industry that it has to do with you putting your face out there, going to premieres and going to parties, you don't know what drugs are and what drugs look like, and you are sheltered. I just don't believe it. I think it's part of the programming that they want to make you believe it. So don't. Because no. I mean, I've seen the pictures that she was taking overseas and all that, because they're not a secret. You can just go search for her images of Ashley Morgan, modeling images, not the images right now that she looks like a kindergarten teacher from the 80s or something. Her outfit is all like goody. She looks like, Martha Stewart or whatever. I'm not gonna make fun of her look, of her face, and I'm saying the outfit and everything is very well done. Very well done. Her publicist is good. I can't say otherwise. Her PR person is good. Oh my god. I love that I'm making a video tonight of all the days, but tonight is when I have a little bit of time. So it is what it is. And for her to just say she was so innocent when she was already involved in the industry in Taiwan or whatever. It's not that innocent over there either. She talks about it like she was farming the land, and she was working a fishing boat in whatever, and then he brought her. She was already on the midst of it. So that's why I don't believe that the wild, the wallflower type of thing. But I don't.
Screaming and not enjoying it, and him like laughing like sadistically, or like gagging my mouth or something. And then we didn't really speak of it. I wasn't allowed to speak of it. I never.
She wasn't allowed to speak about it. About it.
More torture. And I didn't want it. There was a time where there was during a rape, there was a struggle, and my nose broke, and I flew back overseas through
She went to the airport. She went to LAX with a broken nose. And what the photographer is gonna take pictures of her with a broken nose? Even if the guy is Marilyn Manson, any man with some honor will say, "What happened to you? Who did this to you?" And they will do something about it. It's hard for me to believe that she was going all over the place with a broken nose and nobody knew. Maybe she was too fucked up. It wasn't a broken nose. Maybe it was something else. I don't know.
Going-ish person, and I was a secretive, scared little girl.
She was in secret a very scared little girl. Okay, that's not the end of it, but I'm gonna jump to what she just did. And it's only 10 minutes because I want to do this less than an hour. Oh my gosh. Okay. She was 4 days ago, the show, The View. I never respect that show anyway, so it's not like, oh my god, I'm losing the, I used to respect them. No, they're full of it. They're a bunch of just women gossiping, calling it, and they call it a TV show. And she was there with her lawyer.
You're about to hear disturbing allegations that are not for young ears, so if you have young...
That's Whoopi Goldberg talking. I have nothing against her, but now I have nothing for her either. She is already talking like this already happened. Like if we're talking about Bill Clinton, the stuff that he did in the 90s. So we're talking about another type of scandal, and we're talking about it like, okay, it just happened, it sucked, this happened to this person, let's show clemency and let's show empathy for this person because this already happened to them. She's talking about it like it already happened. In Ashley's mind, it did happen. But how the other ones are called journalism or whatever it is are acting like it did happen if they're not sure. I have a big problem with that. The way this whole thing has been treated as it already is true, it's just really strange. Like, it's okay for her to say, I expect Ashley and Evan and Esme to say, oh, this happened to me. But I don't expect these people to say, oh, this happened to you. It's really just weird. Like, trying to turn it up, but
young children in the room, please put them out of the room. Let them go do something else. So far, at least 17 women
She's so dumb. I'm sorry.
to have made abuse claims against rock star Marilyn Manson. And yesterday, model Ashley Morgan Smithline filed a lawsuit alleging that he put her through living hell of physical, emotional, and sexual torture. She joins us now with her lawyer, Jill Elwanger. Sarah, I believe, has the first question.
Yeah, welcome to the show. Ashley, can you start from the beginning? When did you first meet Marilyn Manson? And what was your relationship like at the beginning?
Hi.
Just
sorry,
wait,
thank you
because
for having
the
us.
reason I'm doing it like this, because just kind of refresher of what happened in May when she did the first interview, and she did this 4 days ago, and see the inconsistency. It's gonna be all over the place. It's crazy. And I'm not gonna make fun of her face, but I'm gonna make fun of her lawyers. The lawyer looks like he just got out of like eating a bunch of fried chicken and drinking a bunch of beer. Like his face is completely red. Maybe the guy has a skin condition, I don't know. But he looks like he's drunk out of his mind. Very red. Maybe he's nervous. Usually when you lie, you blush, right? And he's a lawyer, and maybe he believes, lawyers, they're gonna believe. First of all, you pay them to believe you. Oh, that sounds evil, but you pay them to believe you. I had a lawyer once when I was doing a bunch of family law drama, that she told me, I was like, well, where's the proof? These people don't have any proof of this, they're saying. And she said, the testimony is the proof. And I was like, no, it's not. She's like, yeah. I'm like, no, but it shouldn't be. She's like, it is. Especially in California, where everything is being taken. Everybody's so hypersensitive here. Testimony is proof. I will never forget when she said that. The testimony is proof. That can go for anything. That's very dangerous. And this is a lawyer telling me this. And I was like, well, no, facts, and I always said facts are not, feelings are not facts. Just because I feel a certain way, it's not a fact. And my lawyer will be like, yes, it is. We have to work with that nonsense in mind. It wasn't really my case, but somebody else's. We got to work with that nonsense of thinking the way when somebody goes to court, especially in California, and they say how they feel, is taken as a fact. And when they give testimony, is taken as proof. And it's not just with women talking about men, for a lot of things. Restraining orders and like neighbors type of drama. Somebody can come and say that I stole from them, and I don't have any proof that I didn't steal from them, but they don't have any proof that I did, but they're going to be believed. It's really messed up. And I think the reason is because everybody here is so afraid of doing the wrong thing and saying the wrong thing. And everybody, like I said, everybody's super sensitive, way too sensitive, and not rough enough. So everything is just taken as is true. And I said it before in another video of mine. The only people that should believe right off the bat are children. And I'm not saying children don't lie, they do. But right off the bat, you have to believe them. And then you investigate, and then you start asking questions and making phone calls. Right off the bat, you always believe children. But these are not children. And that's why Evan Rachel Wood is trying to dwell on the fact that she was 18 and not 19, because she wants to be seen as a child. Because we have to believe children as a society. And no, 19 is not 18. I know there's no big difference between the stupid stuff that we do at 18 and 19 that Evan did just by being with him and home wrecking his house because he was married, we know that. But the fact that she's pulling so much, Evan's pulling so much to the number 18, is because legally we have to believe children. And I'm not saying children are not capable of being psychopaths, and some children even kill. Okay, it's so sad, but they can have all those traits and they can become those things. But even with those children, they have traits of psychopathy. You still have to believe. If a child comes to me and says, my daddy does this, my mommy does this to me, it might sound fantastic. It might sound like, I don't know. But the first thing you do is believe them. And then the social worker will come over, and then they will present that to the judge, and then you have therapists and counselors and doctors saying, well, this person did got abused, or this person didn't. You can't even find anything, and maybe the child is lying. Okay, but it takes months of investigation to get to the point of to see if somebody's lying or not. this is almost like, well, yeah, she's totally not lying, because he's always been a weirdo. That's pretty much what Whoopi Goldberg and the idiots from The View are saying. Well, he's always been a weirdo, so we're just going to believe her 100%, Ashley. But Ashley's not a child. She's not a little girl saying, well, my dad spanked me too hard or whipped me. Then that has to be believed right away. I'm telling you, that is the way it should be, and I'm glad that it's that way, always. But they're trying to do this with adults. And it's just so dirty. It's just corrupted, and it's dirty as fuck. That's what it is. I don't know what the big agenda is behind it. I'm sure that other people know more about what the big agenda behind it is. But what I can tell you is that people are super sensitive. And every time somebody comes up with any type of sexual harassment, even at the workplace, even with being non-famous, there's not a lot of proof seeking. They don't really seek for proof. They do believe you. And that is good and bad at the same time. It can be very dangerous. You can ruin somebody's career, somebody's life, because you said that this guy or this girl or this woman look at you the wrong way. It's really weird. Like, we had to find a balance between this shit, because it's getting out of control to the point that everybody who goes to court is being believed. Like I said, the only people I'm going to believe are children. That's it. And I'm not the only person thinking like this is the law. So the way that these women are doing it, they're doing it through Instagram and through Twitter, because they know that legally they're not going to be believed 100%. But they did the whole Twitter and the whole Instagram thing. They've been doing that since they started doing that around Valentine's Day. Remember, in February? So from February to March, they did this whole campaign online. So then when they do this, you go like, oh, I knew it, that Manson guy. So it's just they're being work in your head. I mean, thank God that there's people out there in the community that agrees with me a little bit, or the whole thing, or whatever. That we're not gonna just believe something because somebody just says so, and because somebody goes and cries. These women are actresses. They're models. They know how to work the camera. They know how to cry. And trust me, crying is not that hard to make yourself cry. So I am not gonna just believe people because they cry, or because because he's a weirdo and they're not. Like, they're all wholesome and he's just eccentric rock star. And Evan Rachel Wood is so wholesome, and the way we go through her past. Like, I have videos of her before. I think I made videos of her the most of all the women, because she's a very interesting creature. Because there's things of her saying how she loves older men, and because she has a serious relationship with her dad, dating older men works for her, and she loved working with older men. Like, she just said that so many times. When she was like 15, 16, 17, she was always working with older co-stars. So I'm not saying, though, because you work with older men you deserve to be sexually assaulted. I'm not saying that. But then sometimes she plays it really innocent. Like I said, somebody who's been in the industry, and the modeling industry and the acting industry for years, we know there's nothing innocent about it. You know what's up. Just come on, lawyer.
I was kind of bombarded by Facebook messages, by emails, by Skype calls that I don't know if he remembered he did all of these different things, but we first connected over a Skype call. And
very smart, Ashley. See, she's not so stupid. I don't know if he will remember all this, but we did this. I don't know if he'll remember it. Of course she's gonna say that, because they're gonna make him, because if he says, no, I didn't do that, they're gonna go like, well, you were too fucked up to remember. You probably did, but you were too fucked up to remember. So her throwing that little bit there, it's not convincing me or people on YouTube. They are defending him and Johnny and the people that have a brain. But it's convincing the people that are watching The View, and the vast majority of America are watching ABC and NBC and Fox and believing this type of news. So when she said, oh, he probably is not going to remember what he did, it's very is very smart, and I hate to give it to her, but that was a very good. She probably didn't come up with that, but anyway.
In the summer of 2010, I was modeling in Bangkok, Thailand.
Ashley, you say that after a few months your friendship evolved into a consensual sexual relationship, and every time you had a break from modeling in Asia, you would live with him in his Los Angeles apartment. According to you, this is when the psychological, physical, and sexual abuse started. Can you tell us about some of the things you say that he did to you?
Yes, it began quite quick. I flew out, and within the next day I was in his home.
That's so weird.
I woke up bound, and he was having sex with my unconscious body.
No. She said in the other interview that I played before from May that it didn't happen right away. At first he was very charming. Did you hear that? That's what I was playing it before this. He was very charming and he was very romantic and made her feel very safe. Now she's saying the first couple nights he either drug her or give her something that she passed out, and he was having sex with her unconscious body. I thought he was a gentleman. So it's either one or the other. It could be both. In different times, she has the timelines messed up. Like it's not about drugs or her being mentally whatever impairment she may have of disorder. It's really that she is lying so much that she cannot keep up with it. So it was very smart that she said, oh, he might not even remember these things that he did to me. That's what Amber Heard said, that Johnny was drinking so much wine he doesn't remember half of it. Very smart. And then she totally messed it up with the next sentence when she said that, like right off the bat, she said the word right off the bat. Right off the bat, he was being abusive, and the second night he was having sex with my unconscious body. In the interview from May 5th to People's Magazine, she was saying that in the beginning he was super nice and charming and all this stuff and romantic. So with the unconscious body thing happened. So it would make more sense to say the unconscious body, the sexual assault of my unconscious body happened like a month after. You know why she can say that? Because the relationship was like 3 weekends or something. So she can't give too much time on her story. Because somebody's going to come up, like people come up, people that know her, like Tom, his ex-fiancé, and all the friends that know her, they're going to come up and say, hey, wait, she wasn't with him for more than a month. So she doesn't have the luxury of time. Evan does. She doesn't. So she can't say, well, it took long for him to develop this. She has to say that he went crazy right away because she doesn't have time. Do you see what I mean? It's like, I just realized that what I was saying out loud. She doesn't have the luxury of time. When you want to make a bunch of lies about somebody that you know for only like 3 months, you got to start lying right away. You got to be like, well, I got there on Monday, and on Wednesday we were fighting, and on Friday he assaulted me, at least. And she's very rushed into it because there's no time. Because they were not together for like a year, like she says, or 2 years. So in one interview she goes and says that he was very charming in the beginning, and now she goes and says that he was being her unconscious body the second or third night. Yeah, this sounds more like a rush time than the other bullshit story. So he was either really charming the whole time, or he was a monster the whole time for like 2 years, and you just no. It's so wrong. She's rushing it, and she's going straight to the unconscious body thing because she knows that's gonna get people, especially these women, and they could be going like, oh my god, because that's really, it's nasty to think about. That's pretty evil to do to somebody, and it's been done all the time. You go to a club and people put something on your drink, and then it's been done. She didn't invent it. Neither Marilyn Manson. This has been done since the 70s. So people party, and then either because of bondage or some type of fetish game, or because of drugs, somebody passed out and somebody does something, it's really wrong. I don't want to talk about things that is so dark, but at the same time, she brought it up. The first thing, because it's going to get people's attention. It's not because of the first thing he did. Because what he did, he was a gentleman in the beginning. That's from her other interview. So why not keep going with the gentleman narrative? You know why? Because she doesn't have time. She has to get you like, oh my God, like right away in the first 3 minutes of the interview. And now these people that are doing the journalists, or these people that are doing the TV show, and the people watching at home, because this is live ABC, national TV. This is not some cable, some YouTube shit. This is like national TV, and they're already feeling for her. They're already feeling sorry for her when she said the unconscious body. I mean, I'm just gonna make a second part. I'm just gonna go take a break and make some coffee. I'm gonna come back with Ashley. I know I hate just cutting it, but it's going to keep making more sense in the way that it's not making sense, if you know what I mean. So watch the next one, please, if you will, and just get your if you're going to just trust, if you're going to do something like this to anybody because you're being hurt for reals, now lying, you need to get your stuff. You need to get evidence. You have to write things down in a notebook. You don't have to start taking pictures of the guy. Might get even worse if he sees you taking pictures, but write things down, man. Make phone calls, like get a tape recorder and record. I did that because then you have a case. This thing is like, oh well, I felt this way, he was this way, and then he wasn't this way. It's too fluid for me. It's too fluid, and for somebody to just have been canceled, even if he wasn't a celebrity, even if he was the guy for the works in the factory, he'll get fired. He'll get black listed. He's never gonna get a job again. His family's gonna abandon me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many things that can happen to somebody just because of lies. And I would love to see the Skype phone calls or the video calls or the text messages and the emails and the Facebook and the MySpace and all that. And I just don't think it exists. With Evan, of course it does. With Esme Bianco, yes, it did. The whole back and forth existed. With her, I don't know, and I'm not sure if this is all an invention of her head. Whatever it happens to be, this is just wrong to lie about something like this. And period. So I'm gonna come back with the second part. So if you watch this one, watch the second one. They're gonna be uploaded probably upside down because that's how I do things, whatever. Let me see, I'm gonna figure it out. But I wish I can do this live because it's more fun, but it's been too glitchy. So my second part, I'm gonna keep going with this interview, and I'm going to dissect this thing like a dead frog and show you and tell you that the days don't match. The physical thing she's talking about, they don't match. Her family being there and then not being there, but then her mom bringing Thanksgiving food, and then she's saying she was isolated. Like, this is Evan Richard Wood all over again. Seriously. But at least Evan had time with him, so she can make things up. She can say, well, he was nice for 6 months and then he was awful. Like, she has time. This chick doesn't have time, so she needs to be fast on her line and making stuff up, or her fable, her little tale that she's telling. It has to be really fast. It's like, okay, well, we got together, he put me in the hotel, but then he told me to move in, and then we got some drinks, and then two nights after that, I woke up bounded and tied up, and he was having sex with my unconscious body. She just went on that straight up so fast, either because it happened so fast, that's what she's trying to make us believe, or because, it never happened. And she can't say that it happened later because she knows that her friends or ex-boyfriends or whatever are going to come out and say, well, you were with him only for a month or two. So that's what she needs to say. This happened, the assault happened right away. That's another one. I don't know if that's stupid or smart on her part. I'm trying to figure it out because these people are not in a way, I hate like when I see YouTube channels and everybody's calling them names and they're calling them dumb. I don't think this is dumb. I think this is a well thought plan, and I don't think there's nothing dumb about it. So they might look dumb, they might sound dumb. This whole, if you want to call it conspiracy or plot, there's nothing dumb. This is not dumb at all. I mean, no. If it was dumb, if it was just stupid and dumb, people would have put it brushed under the rug a long time ago. They keep feeding at this, and then ABC and NBC and People and Rolling Stone magazine, they keep feeding it because it's not dumb. This thing has been well thought, by the email that they were sending to all the girls that ever slept with Manson. I better read a long email, but they ever slept with him on those 2 years or hang out, hook up, whatever. They send this email out recruiting them, right? As I already explained in my other video, how that is the definition of a conspiracy. When you're recruiting people, it's a conspiracy, it's a cult, it's a bad way to do things. It's a bad way to do things. If you want to get back at your rapist or abuser, that's not how you do it. You don't send emails going like, hey, yo, let's get back, let's get back at this guy, let's take revenge. That's very strange. So I disagree when people say that they're stupid. I don't think they are. I think the whole thing is very smart. It makes me sad that it is smart, but I'm not gonna take them for granted that they're dumb. I don't think they're dumb. I think sometimes they make mistakes with the deadlines, and they make mistakes, stupid stuff like saying there was no food and there's pictures of cereal and boxes and milk, and so yeah, they make mistakes like that. But this whole plot, it's not something that is out of nowhere. It's being plotted, it's being planned, it's being meticulously, the way they're dropping the lawsuits, like April, May, June, and they're being smart about it. And this interview, this is national TV. I don't watch this shit, okay? I hate The View. I don't watch this. This is the first time I watched this in 5 years or so, because I wanted to watch the Ashley with the lawyer thing. I don't believe anything these people said. But think about so many people that do, though, So I'm going to I'm going to keep hammering on her, pretty much, because I think I did a lot enough with Evan. Somebody said the other day, like, were you jealous of her? Why are you so obsessed with her? I'm like, I'm not obsessed with Evan, but Evan is the one that is the root of this whole thing. So I'm going to, and also we have more info on Evan, because Evan was with him for like almost 3 years. So I can go and read the old interviews that she praised him. I can go and read the old interviews of Evan when Evan says that she loves being around older men. There's more story. So it's not that I'm obsessed with Evan. Evan is a little bit more of an interesting character, really. Okay, do the second part and I come back in a little bit. Okay, bye. Thank you. I promise it'll be a part 2.